Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little different. A lot of you probably haven't seen this chassis with the body off yet, so we'll go through a quick bit of that and we'll make up a few braces to go in here somewhere. You'll notice the body's back off the car. Had the old man come over on the weekend and we pulled the body off so I can continue on with the chassis and get first stage of inspections out of the way. It's been sitting around for a bit, so you can see the chromoly and the mild steel started to flash off with a bit of surface rust. So I'll just start to strip all that back and get it down to nice clean steel again. So this is the first time the chassis probably been exposed like this in this channel, since I did a lot of it before I started filming for YouTube. So a lot of the bracing is already done and you've seen that before. Today we'll go through and put a couple more outer supports here, and we'll go through how to bend and make those and notch them. The chassis is started to sort of flash off with the surface rust. It's all only surface rust. So you can see I've started to clean it off here and it's coming up pretty good. So once it's all bare metaled, I'll probably coat it with some Easy Foss and it'll stay like that for a while. I coated the diff a while ago in Easy Foss and it stayed pretty rust free. There's only a bit of surface rust coming up here, but nowhere near as bad as like the unexposed bits that you can see here. Gonna change the dies over in the bender. So this was set up for bending 1 inch and we want to bend 1.25 inches. So I'll swap it over to this 1.25 by 5 big die set here. So the way this one works is pipe will go in here, rest on the backing die here, and get drawn through around this die. So this is a air over hydraulic one. So when I push this power pack foot pedal, the cylinder starts to expand and it'll pull the material through. Then when we release, it'll pull that cylinder back through and release the material. So I'll get our piece of work and we'll give it a go. So this is the paper template that I've quickly drawn up. So this will be our 1 5/8 main tube that's already in there, and up here is our chassis rail. So we're going to make the bottom piece like this with about a 25-degree bend in it, and the top piece will come across from the other rail. Now I've got the correct pin in there, we'll try again. So I'll just take up the slack, which is about there. We can reset our marker to the degree wheel to get us a rough estimate, and we want about 25 degrees. So that's about 25 there. So as you can see, pretty effortless. That's 95 wall chromoly. So it's about 2.5 mil, 2.8 mil I think. if that was converted to mild steel, that'd be double the wall thickness, so it's about 5 mil. So pretty effortless on the air over hydraulic setup. Makes it heaps easier than pulling on it by hand. Got the angle finder here set up off our template. So it'll need a little bit more because it'll have a bit of spring back as well. So we'll keep going. Probably stop about there. We'll let the spring back do its thing. And it looks pretty close. So we'll probably take that out. We'll take our piece out, take it over to our template. So you can see that's our bend. Lay it over the top of the template. Come out nice. You can see the wall thickness there, really quite thick. I've marked off our template here where we will cut the rail side. So we've cut that, compare it to the template. Nice and close. We can take it over to the workpiece and give it a bit of a mock up. So it'll change slightly once we're over, but you can see there's no gap at the moment, so it's looking really good. So I've drawn where our notch will be and where we'll intersect this other pipe, and I've roughly marked it here. So we'll lop it off and make it a bit easier on the notcher, so we're only notching half the side of the pipe. So I've chopped that off. We'll throw it in another tool in the arsenal here, the tube notcher. We line that up to where we need a notch, which is about there. And get this end as close to 90 degrees as we can get it. It's just going to make it easier for fit up. And then clamp that down tight. Then we'll hook up the drill and start notching. So we put it back on the template, nice and precise there. So basically if we take this over to the chassis, in theory it should fit straight in. So it looks like initially we'll have to take a small amount out of the top because of the other pipe there, which is fine, but that is pretty close. So the only way of really doing this neatly and correctly with the precision is drawing this out, because we couldn't just temporarily run this end longer and mark where we had to notch because there's already pipes in the way. So this is turning out nice. It just goes to show that you need to take your time to get the precision. So we've just taken that small bit out, fitting way nicer at this end. And it looks pretty damn good. It's a small kick up in it, so see the bar actually sits flat, one whole pipe width, 1.5" below the chassis in the way I've designed it. So I just kick this up slightly to meet the inside.
So from the side you won't really notice it, but it still keeps us some good side intrusion strength. So we've got that one just sitting in place. So now we'll make our top one, which will be heaps easier. It'll just be a straight piece of 1.25 inches straight across the top. So there'll be a notch here and a small chamfer here because of the way the chassis comes back in. So I've just marked this one by eye. So that'll be there. And our notch will be there, and should just be able to chop this one, should go straight in as well. Much simpler than the other one, no bend and no angles to contend with. So same thing again, just loaded up the notcher. Tighten it down. So just clean that up, and we'll cut the other side to our angle that we need. Side. We'll see how this one fits. Tiny little MIG burr there. Creep this across. Very close. So just give that a little tickle up so it goes straight in. So just clean that up and got rid of that little MIG burr. Now, in all 4 of these joins, there's virtually no gap at all. So it just makes it so much easier to weld and work on. But it goes to show why chassis work and like precision chromoly and pipe work takes so long. Just to make it neater and nicer, and also why it costs so much. So this side is actually going to be where the transmission cooler goes in. Now the idea is that I can slide this in and out without pulling the body off, so it'll come out the bottom. So that still gives us enough room with the brace, hides it from the side of the chassis rail and gives us enough room with the cooling fans. So I'll make like another shroud for those later on. So the tranny cooler will be on this side and the condenser for the air conditioner will be on the other side. So this will have 2 8-inch fans, and the condenser over there, that'll have 3 8-inch fans. So we should have a good amount of airflow to keep everything nice and cool. So now I've got it outside. I'm going to make up a brace that joins these 2 engine mounts together. This is part of the engineering requirements and ASRF requirements. In case one of the engine mounts fails, the engine can't just fall down. Back inside now, you can see engine and box are out. I've started to sand a lot of the surface rust off there. Been a bit going on lately, so engine and box is out over there, front's all apart. I managed to flip it over, set it up on these stools. Added a lot of braces, The last footage was making up these two here. So I added the bottom 4-link brace, bit of a cross in the middle here. All of these have turned out really nice. This is all tacked out, so the top side's mostly welded. All the gaps turned out really good. Nice and easy to weld out, get a good finish. So today I'll just go through, start TIG welding the rest of these out. Also made up the brace that joins the two engine mounts together. Used a set of removable joiners there, so I can actually drop it and pull the sump without taking the engine out. So just in case I ever need to do that, it's going to be a lot easier. Pretty happy with how these are turning out. I think they're looking pretty good. As you can see, been pretty hard at it, getting a lot of this welded out. Finished up welding all the radiator mounts there, the engine mount, all the new bracing. Completed all the 4-link brackets, all that cross member, so all of that's all TIG'd out now. So it's really starting to come together, really happy with it. That's going to be it for this one. Thanks for all the support, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share it to your mates. Cheers.